Hello, everybody, and welcome to Use Connect. I'm Aiden.
I'm Kevin.
Hi, I'm Joshua.
Hi, I'm Nubras.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. For people that are just joining in, if you're new to the show, I just want to give a quick description. Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that was created during the pandemic for the community, by the community. We are all youth broadcasters who have their own podcasts, play music, and want to go into acting and broadcasting work. It's a show that I know that you are going to love. You've already met my other co-hosts, Kevin, Joshua, Nebraska, and Jeffrey. But first up is myself with gaming news. Usually, we would be doing our Spotlight Game of the Week, which is basically I share a spotlight on a game that I want you to check out. But I had to push that all aside because guess what? This just in, and not really just this just in, on Wednesday, a random and sudden pop-up of a brand new Nintendo Direct recently showed. And I got to tell you guys that there was so much interesting news. And I'm going to be sharing the most interesting news that I think that you should know. Obviously, before I start, if you want to see any extra details that the Nintendo Direct shared, make sure to check out the Nintendo Direct full stream on Nintendo's YouTube page. But anyways, let's start up with our first news. If you guys remember Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, it's not really that far off. The last time we had a trailer for it was on, well, actually, it was last month's Direct, and it showed that the release date would be March the 25th. However, Nintendo did give us a little bit of a sneak peek into the gameplay. A new trailer shows that Kirby running around a mysterious world with an unusual mix of nature and civilization. Notably, Kirby enters a garage store and figures out that he can absorb enemies as per usual. But guess what? Kirby accidentally sucks up a car. And you learn about this brand new mode that will be releasing just for this specific Kirby game called Mouthful Mode, which lets the pink puffball inhale an entire car, a vending machine, and even a cone. Why? Why not? But these abilities will let Kirby do certain things and certain powers that will allow him to will allow him to travel across multiple areas in this brand new world of exploration. But here's another interesting factor that was just released. Also, Kirby, it has the ability to upgrade already existing copy abilities. So, for example, the cutter becomes the chakram. So instead of just throwing one cutter, he throws two chakrams at the enemy. And you can upgrade the abilities more and more, like fire to volcano fire to draconic fire. It is an absolutely amazing gameplay that we saw. But right now, Twitter is absolutely booming with this so-called Kirby. That's an interesting name. And I just can't stop laughing at the weird cone bee or even ball bee. There's just so many weird combinations. And apparently there's going to be a whole handful of these mouthful modes, all for specific selected locations. So please, if you guys can, once again, check out the stream. It's a really good one. And this is just the first news. Do be ready for the second and third news. But for now, we're going to have to move on to Kevin for some all-important local news.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another segment of the news and interesting facts with me, Kevin Aruja. But first, I have some breaking news for you. Ford invokes state of emergency in response to trucker protests. Ontario is immediately invoking a state of emergency in an attempt to end trucker convoy protests that have disrupted a vital border crossing in the province. Today, Premier Darkford announced the move as an anti-Monday protesters have set up a blockade and an ambassador bridge between Windsor and Detroit, which has caused significant traffic. Sorry about that. Traffic and trade disruptions. The state of emergency will make it illegal and punishable to block and stop the movement of goods, people, and services along critical infrastructure. Anyone who doesn't comply could face up a maximum penalty of $100,000 and up to a year imprisonment. Ford also said that the other provides law enforcement with additional authority to take away personal and commercial licenses of anyone who doesn't comply. And now the rest of our headlines. Ford pushing to speed up a Ontario's tour opening plan. High school contact sports, more music extracurriculars can resume in Ontario schools. Canada on a day six of the Winter Olympics. And least but not least, Raptors top Thunder with a score of 117 out of 98 for the seventh straight win. Premier Darkford is pushing for new regulations that would speed up the pace of Ontario's reopening plan. Multiple sources tell CTV News Toronto. The province is currently slated to lift capacity limits in indoor settings that require proof of vaccination on February 21st en route to remove all capacity limits by March 14th. The number of people in Ontario's hospitals with COVID 19 has been steadily declining for weeks. Officials with the Ontario State Science Advisory Table have warned that the reopening of businesses and the increased mobility of residents will likely result in a rebound in hospitalization rates under all but the most favorable assumptions. But sources that Ford has nevertheless been expressing a desire to plan soon to move on from pandemic measures behind closed doors. At this point, it is unclear whether Ontario's proof of vaccination requirement and mandatory mask order could be lifted as well, though Health Minister Christine Elliott seemed to suggest less than 24 hours ago that those measures would be kept in place for the foreseeable future. The high contact sports, choir, and other extracurriculars can resume in Ontario schools after a temporary pause on the activities when students return to in person learning amid the Omicron wave. Some low contact sports that will allow for physical distancing, like tennis, have been ongoing in schools, but high contact sports, such as basketball and volleyball, were paused in January due to COVID 19 risk. Singing and the playing of wind instruments have also not been permitted, but they will now be allowed. And participants in extracurriculars must wear masks while on school premises, but can remove them temporarily when required while playing instruments or sports. And on the sports news for the Toronto Raptors, Pascal Siakam had 27 points and 16 rebounds. Fred Van Vliet made 6 3-pointers and had 21 points. And now the Toronto Raptors beat the Oklahoma City Thunder with a score of 117 out of 98 on Wednesday night for the seventh straight victory. And here's what Canada have on day six of Beijing Olympics. Canada added two more medals on the sixth day of full of competition at the Beijing Olympics, bringing home a silver and a bronze. Elliot Grondin captured silver in snowboard across a photo finish on Thursday. Ontario's Jack Crawford won the bronze medal in the men's alpine combined, giving Canada its first ever medal in the event. On the medals tally, Germany leads with 7 gold and 4 silver, followed by Norway with 6 gold, 3 silver, and 5 bronze. And Canada is in the 14th place with 1 gold, 4 silver, and 7 bronze. And on the weather news, we have been enjoying a little bit of warmer weather the past few days, but all is going to change. You'll have really cold winds and bitter chill on Saturday and Sunday, with temperatures around -10 to -19. Monday and Tuesday will range from -8 to -11. And now, what do we have coming next week? Any guesses, of course, is Valentine's Day. But do you know how Valentine's Day came to be celebrated? Well, let's go give you a story. Valentine's Day is a time to celebrate love and friendship and the joy of having other people in your life. It's a day of flowers, candies, and cards decorated with hearts. This special day's origins, though, is not so rosy. There are many theories on how Valentine's Day began, but the most noted one begins in Rome in the year 268. Emperor Claudius II wanted a fierce team of young men to fight in his armies. He found when the young men are in love for sharing their lives with a wife and children, they tended to be more cautious to ensure large numbers of soldiers for his armies. Claudius outlawed marriage for those young men. But Claudius may have outlawed love, but he could not stop it. Young men and women still fell in love and wanted to become more couples in the eyes of the church. A brave and obviously romantic priest named Valentine, though the law was horribly unjust. Putting his life in danger, Valentine continued performing marriages ceremonies, doing so in secret and hidden from the eyes of authorities. Still, news of Valentine's secret ceremonies made its way back to Claudius. The priest was found and put to death on February 14th. Centuries later, the Catholic Church made their kindly priest a saint, one of the three saints named Valentine, and that is how we came to celebrate Valentine's Day. So, sending you lots of love and friendship. That means happy Valentine's Day to everyone. This is Kevin Aruja signing off, and now over to Aiden's gaming news.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for the Olympics news. I saw that Canada has 12 medals, so keep going, Canada. Let's get some more medals. Anyways, on to our second Nintendo Direct news, as I'm going to say it now. I have been waiting for this game for a long time. Mario is ready to take on the soccer pitch once again. Mario Strikers Battle League is the new supercharged Mario soccer game coming to the Nintendo Switch, and it will be out on June the 10th. A new trailer at the Nintendo Direct recently showed off the upcoming soccer game, Battle League, and it has players teaming up on 5-on-5 matches to slug it out on the pitch. Players can, of course, tackle and attack members of the opposing team with classic Mario weapons like classic green shells and red shells. They can also release super powerful shots called Hyper Strikes. And if you guys know Mario Super Strikers, this game is famous for its super special soccer ball attacks. So these new ones are going to be called Hyper Strikes, and popular characters from the Mario series, including Yoshi, Peach, and of course Mario, will be returning. They can be outfitted with gear which will change up their stats on the field. I don't know what kind of stuff they'll be releasing. Obviously, they showed us just a little bit of a trailer for it. Didn't really show us too much gameplay on it. It also has up to 8 players for a local co-op game. I don't know about you, but I feel Nintendo is going to be pulling a story mode on Mario Strikers. Let's just hope that it is an interesting story plot, kind of like what they did with the tennis one, and not like the one that they did with the other games. But make sure to check it out. The game is the latest installment of Mario Strikers series. If you guys know, Mario Strikers last one was Mario Strikers Charged for the Wii in 2007, and then Super Mario Strikers for the GameCube on 2005. So it's awesome to have a brand new addition to this amazing sports series of Nintendo games. So make sure to look out for that one. Anyways, though, next up is Joshua, and Joshua has us some good news stories and, of course, animal news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Connect Now for a good news story. 8-year-old author's book becomes a hit at Idaho Library. An Idaho library said a book written and illustrated by an 8-year-old boy who personally placed it on the library shelves now had a waiting list of 135 people hoping to check it out. Alex and Susan Hilbig of Boise, Idaho said their son Dylan announced to the family in November that he had written a book and secretly placed it in the sacks at their local library. He put the book together in like 4 days. Alex Hilbig told CNN that the parents said Dylan often writes 5 to 10 page comic books, but they were surprised to learn he had completed an 88-page book entitled The Adventures of Dylan Hilbig's Christmas, with the author credited as Dylan himself. Susan Hilbig said she wanted to see her son's work, so she called the library to retrieve the book. Thinking it was in the lost and found, she said they did find the book and loved its contents. The library staff felt it was very well done and deserved some recognition. Therefore, they decided to add it to the library's catalog. In fact, the library made Dylan the first recipient of the Houdini Award for Best Young Novelist. The boy's parents were the first to check out the book, which follows Dylan's adventures as he deals with an exploding Christmas tree topper and travels in time to events including the first Thanksgiving. The librarian said the book has become such a success that there is now a waiting list of 135 library cards waiting to check it out. And interestingly enough, there are a lot of calls and offers to get his book published. Dylan said he is now working hard on his next book. Now for another good news story. Growing veggies year-round in frigid Canada without heating. A Chinese vegetable grower has helped Canadian greenhouse technology move forward by moving backward. Dong Jinyi uses only materials and the laws of thermodynamics to grow cucumbers, peppers, lettuce, and tomatoes in the frigid Alberta winter without any heating costs. Dong Jin Yis is the owner of Fresh Pal Farms, which is believed to be the largest passive greenhouse in Canada. Growing vegetables in China's cold north requires innovation, and passive greenhouses are common in that part of the country because they don't use electricity. In northern China, it also gets really cold and pretty dark in winter, but people can grow food year round, Dong told CBC, where he lived in China. There are so many passive solar greenhouses, but in Canada he didn't see any operating on a commercial scale. His 10,000 square foot greenhouse is structured out of steel and framed with two special polymer plastic roofs. An, an electric motor allows operators to extend and retract an insulating blanket to trap heat absorbent during the day. This keeps the interior space at 28 degrees while the outside December temperature is negative 7 degrees. Last year, Dong grew 29,000 pounds of tomatoes while saving $30,000 in energy and heating costs. Wow, that's incredible savings. Now turning to animal interest news. Goldie the pufferfish is all smiles after her successful dental surgery. It may not seem like we have much in common with fish, but it turns out they need to visit the dentist just like we do sometimes. Unfortunately for Goldie the porcupine pufferfish, her visit was an emergency. Somehow her teeth had become overgrown to the point where she was unable to eat. Pufferfish have teeth also known as beaks that never stop growing. The tougher food the tough food they consume normally shortens them naturally, but at some point that stopped working for Goldie. About 3 months ago, we noticed her front beak was growing very quickly even though she was eating cock, cockle shell in cockle shell every day. Every day, we aren't sure why Goldie's teeth never really managed to grind themselves naturally, said her owner. Thankfully, their veterinary surgeon from Sandhole Veterinary Center in England specializes in exotic fish and was able to quickly determine the kind of procedure this 5-year-old pufferfish needed. The surgery was completed in an hour, and Cody's recovery time was even faster. After just 10 minutes of being back in fresh water, she was happily swimming around like usual. Better yet, she was back to eating with no problem within 2 hours. Going to the dentist can be stressful, whether you are a human or not. But as nerve-wracking as this situation has been, her owner and Goldie couldn't be happier with how everything turned out. Way to go, Goldie. This is Joshua Show reporting for Youth Connect. That's it for me. Now, I'll send it back to you, Aiden.
I must say, Joshua, you know what? I really believe in sustainability, and all year-round veggies have been has been a thing for a while. But coming up with all year-round veggies without any heat is such an important way of saving the environment without stressing it out. So thank you so much for this amazing news. I always can count on your good news stories. For your last gaming news, however, though, we have I have one more story that I want to share with you guys. Now, obviously, with Youth Connect, we always have to talk about gaming news, but with Nintendo Direct, we're always waiting for what kind of games is Nintendo going to be releasing. I was severely hoping for a Mario Kart 9 because I heard rumors about it, but actually, sadly, we're going to have to wait at least a few years because here's some awesome Mario Kart news. So don't get too disappointed. We still get some stuff. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will be getting additional DLC. That's right. They already had 2 DLCs, including Link and the Villager, but now there's even more. In 2022 and 2023, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass will release in 6 waves of 8 maps each, starting March the 18th, and will contain a total of 48 new courses, all remastered from past Mario Kart games. The Booster Course Pass will include courses from Super Mario Kart, Super Circuit, Mario Kart 64, Double Dash, DS, Wii, Mario Kart 7 Tour, and the first wave will include, guess what? Absolutely my favorite track in the entire game, Wii Coconut Mall, Nintendo 64 Choco Mountain, and of course, Tour Tokyo Blur, and 5 others. Players can pre-order and purchase the pack, obviously, if you guys want, for $24.99. But with your Nintendo Switch Online plus the expansion pack, members will get access to all 48 courses included as part of their subscription. So fortunately for me, I will get it. If you guys really like Mario Kart and you really want to get these brand new remastered courses, I recommend that you check it out. You know what? It kind of reminds me of Super Smash Brothers, but instead it's Mario Kart courses. And honestly, maybe they'll release more secret characters. You never know. We could have Dark Luigi. The possibilities are endless. But this is just a little bit of Nintendo Direct. Obviously, there's even more news that they had to share, like including a new Xenoblade Chronicles game. But obviously, that's all the time I have. And next up, we have Nebraska, and Nebraska has some entertainment and podcast news.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? My name is Nebraska, and I'm your student entertainment news. Let's get straight into the top story. And the top story is about Marvel. So today I have 2 or 3 stories about Marvel. So let's get into it. So first, following the worldwide success of Spider-Man No Way Home, Sony Pictures currently focused on its upcoming project Morbius, which will release exclusively in theaters on April 1st. After Dr. Michael Morbius makes his mark on the Sonyverse, the studio will then have its full attention directed to Kraven the Hunter, a movie following one of Spider-Man's most menacing foes. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who portrayed Pietro Maximoff in the MCU's Avengers Age of Ultron, is said to be the lead actor as the titular character. The film is currently set for release sometime in January 2023, so not much is known about its content as production is in the early ages. It was recently reported that actor Russell Crowe, who's also starring in Thor Love and Thunder, will officially be joining the cast of Kraven as well. Although the name and capacity of involvement for this character have yet to be revealed, a new development has recently surfaced revealing that Crowe and Taylor Johnson aren't the only actors have been approached for their second role within the realm of Marvel, as a young X-Men cast member was previously offered the part in Kraven 2. Yes, reporter Jeff Snyder recently revealed via Twitter that actor Cody Smith McPhee, who portrayed Nightcrawler in X-Men Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, was reportedly offered the role of Chameleon in Sony's Kraven the Hunter, and was unavailable to accept the part, so he denied. Chameleon, a villain who has the ability to change the appearance at will, is most commonly associated with Spider-Man, and his first Marvel Comics appearance was in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 1. Marvel is still looking for someone to fit the role of Chameleon. Oh, that's too bad. Imagine that he could play it, because Marvel always looks for characters who was previously played roles of comic book characters. So he would be a good fit. But that's all. And Marvel could choose someone else. Who knows? And yeah, and now to my second story. And before I go to my second story, I have to give you guys a fact of the day. And today's fact of the day is, drum roll, please. Did you guys know Superman didn't always fly? Yes, that's true. The original comic book Superman could leap tall buildings in a single bound, like the Hulk in 2000 Hulk, that he could jump so high. Superman did that too. But then he had to come right back down to Earth because he didn't fly. It wasn't until the 1940s when animators for a new animated series decided it would be too difficult for routinely draw him bending his knees, that it was decided that Superman could take off into the air. Readers got to see smooth animation and a superhero gained a new power. Isn't that awesome, guys? So before the 1940s, Superman didn't fly. Can you believe that? Seeing that Superman just jumping and he's not flying, that's just weird. It's very weird. And yeah, and now to my second story. My second story is about a podcast, and my podcast is Fictional Hangover. Fictional Hangover is a podcast all about young adult and new adult books, series, authors, and voice actors that is full of spoilers. Hosts Amanda and Claire share summaries of popular books and discuss their favorite and least favorite moments, favorite characters, surprises, and more. They also play a game of Would You Rather based on each book, sometimes with the author or voice actor of the book, and sometimes with listeners. So this is a great podcast. So the podcast is Fictional Hangover. So imagine you're reading a book and you have finished the book and you don't understand some parts and you don't understand the whole book. You can listen to the podcast and understand, because they explain theories, they explain summaries, the whole summary of a book, and it's just a fun podcast. It's a great podcast. And yeah, and that's all for me. As always, it's Nebraska from Youth Connect. I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Take care. TGF. Back to it. Thank you. Bye, guys.
I like how you brought up the old Superman. That is true. In the old comics, he never used to have flying powers. He only used to have super strength. He only later in the comics got super flight, and he also got laser vision. Or was it X-ray vision, or was it?
It was
X-ray
laser
vision.
vision. I do remember it was laser vision. I'm pretty sure. I'm
It
not
was
100%
laser vision,
sure.
X-ray vision.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, though, Nebraska. Always important to learn about Marvel and DC news. Anyways, for the final piece of our Youth Connect, the cherry on top, as I like to say, we always have to end off with Jeffrey's live music.
Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great out there. Hope you're ready to hear some music. I'm going to be playing One Love by Bob Marley. And you know what? Since Valentine's Day is coming up, we should all show one love to the people around us. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying, one love. Hear the children crying, one heart. Say your thanks and prayers to the Lord, and I'll feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Whoa, whoa. Let them all pass all the dirty remarks. One love, there is one question I'd really love to ask. One heart, is there a place for the hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind just to save his own beliefs? One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, as it was in the beginning. One heart, so shall it be in the end. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I'll feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. One more thing. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. A pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. One love, what about the one heart, one heart? What about let's get together and feel alright? One love, oh Lord of mercy, one heart. Say give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I'll feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. One love, so when the man comes, there will be no doom. One heart, pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation, singing one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I'll feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, I'm playing to mankind. One heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I'll feel alright. We give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I'll feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you can't wait to see you all next week on Youth Connect. It's back to you, Aiden.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. You know what? I really do believe that we should share one love. You know what? It'd be much better. And also, I heard that Mr. Bob Marley had a birthday. So happy late birthday. Obviously, great artist and obviously great live musician, which is Jeffrey. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. You know, I hope that you really enjoyed the show. It's really hard to coordinate a live stream, but it takes an amazing team to do it. So thank you all for listening, and thank you to my co-hosts. If you like the show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Other than that, I hope that you had fun and you enjoyed watching and or listening to Youth Connect, and we will see you all next time. Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.